Hello, hello. So this is the video for day 6 of making of our house. And on this day, I want to talk to you about what I've been doing with audio. So day 6's objective is to finalize the audio, right? We've gotten rough or pretty good audio, and we've got pretty good video. Day 7 will finalize the video, but here there are a few things that weren't right, that kept on bugging me, that I wanted to fix. So anyway, this is what I've done for day 6. Spent a little bit more time than I wanted, probably close to 5 or 6 hours on this because I was fighting with some plugins, but it's still, it's still a day. So let's go look. Okay, so here I have Audition open. You can see in the background, this little sliver here is GarageBand. Anyway, there are 4 things that I didn't have in the mix that I wanted to have. The first, and I'll talk about the first right here, and come on. One of these keys is supposed to zoom. Okay, fine. The first was at the very beginning. The original song has a cymbal riser, cymbal swell, followed by a guitar glissando really quickly. And I had kind of a poor cymbal swell and no guitar at all. That bugged me. That bothered me. So I wanted to do it similar to the way the Madness did it. Now, most, not all, but most of my covers, I want to get similar to the original. I'm still working out my own style, and I think if I do lots of covers that are somewhat diverse, I mean, I have songs that I like and songs that I don't, but different bands, different covers, I'll figure out my own style, right? And when I figure that out, I'll be able to produce it, hopefully. Anyway, so I'm trying to do it sort of like Madness did, again, with the cymbal swell followed by the guitar glissando. So if we go here and all right, so let's go all the way back. So in the MIDI, we had the guitar. Well, there's vocals that didn't work out, not at all. But anyway, there was this guitar piece right here, the only guitar in the entire MIDI tracks right here. Only treble guitar. There's bass, of course. Anyway, and this was up here. You can see there's a loop that I pulled in for the riser, and the loop was wrong in the song. It really rises. You see it rises from here about 2.2, starts rising here, and then it crescendos to here. And so this piece right here is the cymbal, and then this is the guitar, right? So let me play it for you just so you know what I'm talking about. This. Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted, and this is what I had. I didn't even put that guitar part in, but you'll see it sounds pretty bad. Okay, so this is what I had. I actually had a longer cymbal rise. It was coming, all the way out, and even if I started it here, it was already into the rise. Anyway, it was just bad. Right, so, and GarageBand doesn't really have a good way of stretching stuff. They have this flex thing that used to work kind of, and now works almost not at all. So anyway, Audition does that fine. So I took the riser from here, the loop, brought it into Audition, and then I'm like, what do I want to do for the guitar? Do I want to play it, or do I want to take the MIDI? And I kind of agonize it, but the MIDI you can hear here is really bad. Like that doesn't sound anything like I wanted. So I decided just to play it and record it right inside Audition. So anyway, I took that and brought it over to Audition. So if I go back here, so I've got the riser, I put it on its own track. You know, it was already there, but I squashed it. If you take a look at this here and go to properties, you can see this. Yeah, this riser right here is stretched to 29.6%. So obviously it's quite compressed. And then here, guitar, I have my, you know, guitars hooked up to the interface and just recorded it and moved it into place. So what I got, you know, still doesn't sound exactly like Madness, but it sounds a whole lot better than what I had, and I'm happy enough with it. So I'll solo these two tracks and just let you see what I came up with. See, that's... Yeah, so good enough for me. Okay, particularly on this guitar, so I put some effects. Again, this is on its own track. There's only one guitar, so I had plenty of extra tracks in my template, and you can see here that's all there is on this entire track. And I grabbed some effects here, but I guess I'm wrong. I must be thinking about the bass, which is the second one. Okay, number 2. So I had this bass. You know, bass is my favorite instrument really to play. And the next, you know, piece that was significant that I had missed was the bass slide. There's 2 really quick slides up and down for the bass, right? And I had those, but they were so soft that you couldn't really hear them. So what I wanted to do was make them louder so that you could hear them. So let me show you here. These are these 2 here on bass DI and DI4. So I recorded it twice and you know, dubbed it over each other. I've got it 2 different recordings. But these tracks, you can see, also have other stuff on them, right? So I couldn't tweak these exactly just for these slides, because it would affect, you know, the other stuff on these tracks. So, you know, I did what I could. And so what I did is individually on the waves themselves, the audio forms themselves, you know, I raised the amplitude, added about 4 decibels on both of them. They were pretty low anyway. So I got them about between -4 and -3 decibels, I think, max. And these do have, so these have guitar rig on them, and the guitar rig on them, I'd have to check, but I'm sure it has, you know, compressor, and it has volume limiter, and it has a bunch of, you know, tweaks in it that aren't, so it's gonna tweak the amplitude. It's not just tweaking the sound. So I don't know how much changing the input amplitude is gonna change on the output, but, you know, better than nothing. Anyway, let me zoom in on these. Okay, so these are the 2 right here, right? And waveforms. So I got guitar rig on the entire track, you know, to tweak the guitar a bit. And then also what I did is I put some clip effects. Let me make sure. I tweaked with the sends on this, and I want to say I tweaked them back because I was trying to get some stuff out of them that I was hoping I could do. Yeah, okay, I don't have any sends on these, but I do have, again, besides the track effects with guitar rig, and I played around with dynamics on these and decided no, that's not going to do it. But I put some clip effects, and you can see, so if I go to this clip, It's got the track effect, but I also tried a couple things to get it louder. And you can see here, I increased the saturation, and I also tried a chorus effect. This already has on bass, the bus for bass, it has, well, I am mistaken. I was positive it had a send for reverb, and the reverb here also has echo on it. So I'm thinking I don't need reverb, I don't need echo because I already have it. I guess I'm wrong. Okay, whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, I have reverb, I have echo. What else can I do? The answer, saturation, chorus. Okay. And I tried both of those on both of these and had them in for a while. You can see clip effects on both of these, and it just made it sound messy. Just too distorted, and yeah, it did increase the volume, but it didn't. You couldn't even tell it was a slide. I mean, it sounded really bad. So I took those off. Now I'm thinking, you know, I don't know what happened to the reverb here. I'm sure I had some reverb. Guess not. If I'd realized that, I would have tweaked reverb and maybe echo, but okay. Anyway, I'm pretty pleased with the results, so let's go see what these sound like right here. Similar to what they sounded before, it's just going to be more noticeable in the mix because they're louder. So same thing, except it was a lot quieter before. So that's the second piece, is now those are a little bit louder. Okay, moving on. Next, there were some backing vocals that I didn't have. In particular, two of the places where the song talks about sister sighing in her sleep, there's this back of yeah, so I didn't have that. So I added that, and you know, I'm still trying to figure out my own vocals for lead vocals. My backing vocals, I wanted to be different than my lead vocals because I wanted to sound like, you know, it's not just a chorus of me. I want it to be, you know, noticeably different. So I'm still figuring that out in addition to what my lead sounds like or should sound like. You know, what is my backing going to sound like? Anyway, so going back to GarageBand, the MIDI had this here where they had a MIDI track for the backing vocals. This one up here is, I want to say, the lead, and then this one down here were the backing, and then these were all, you know, different audio tracks that I had recorded to move to Audition. Anyway, right here is the and I made it female ensemble, even though not quite sure why, because if you look at the Madness video, they're all guys, right? So why did I make it female? I don't know. Anyway, I did. So let's let you listen to what it sounds like in the original, in the MIDI, right? So what I had to start with, and I want to say I have this. Nope, not there. It's gonna be here. Yeah, okay. So I'll take that out, and so now I'm going just on female ensemble for It actually isn't bad. It had some fading out, which I took out, which I added back in Audition. That wasn't bouncing right when I tried to bounce it. It would sound right here, but when I bounced it to move it to Audition, it gave this big split between the non-faded and the faded. Like, it jumped up like 10 decibels when it switched to the fading. It made no sense. But anyway, so I just took out the fading and it worked fine. Anyway, it didn't sound too bad. I just wanted to see if I could get it better. And I found this plugin. Actually, it just came out from Native Instruments called Glaze. And what it is it's, you know, an instrument with a bunch of sounds for vocals. And, you know, you can use them just as instruments. You can mix them in, you know, like a vocoder or something like that. I just use them as instruments and tried to replace the, you know, the Apple classical female ensemble with an instrument, you know, the native instrument. Anyway, this is it here. I did a couple of these. So this is instrument 19. So I'm using, you know, complete control. When I double click on it or click on it here, it brings it up, or it should bring it up. Maybe I gotta try again. Let's try again. There we go. Okay. And it had a bunch of ahs. And this one, amazing, just, you know, actually sounded great. And it took me like an hour to figure out how to get this in GarageBand, because GarageBand is kind of limited, as you may know. And this only wanted to play it like once from the MIDI. What I had to do after an hour is I hooked up my MIDI keyboard and played it by hand just so I could get it. And when I played it by hand, that's what this is right here. What you don't see here is like an hour and a half of struggling trying to get this to work and you know, buying it, installing it, everything, because I just bought it for this. I want to use it a lot, but just bought it for this, right? So initially, this is the first time I'm using this plugin, and so I just had to play it again, you know. 4 notes, well, you know, doubled, so 8 notes, but it would not take it from the pre-recorded track. So, okay, but it took it as I played it, so that's what this is. And so let's see what it sounds like. I like Glaze. I think I'm gonna, you know, use it to mix in some of my backing vocals, and probably won't use it solely by itself. I'll probably use it to like augment my backing vocals so that it sounds like, you know, I'm someone else. That's the ideal, I think. Anyway, go in here. This is it from the keyboard. Okay, you know, a little bit lighter, a little bit more, you know, airy, but kind of cool. So that's what I used, and I pulled it in. You know, bounce it, pull it in to Audition, and here it is down here. So put it on backing vocals 3, moved it into place because I just bounced that teeny little clip. Normally you can see I will bounce like the entire length of the track, even if it's just like a single clip, but I knew it was the end. I was getting kind of lazy, so I just bounced those couple measures. Anyway, so let me play for you how this came out. And again, you know, it's a different sound than my vocals, but I still think it was pretty cool. So I want to make sure I don't have any of, any of theirs in it. So this is all part of the finished song. Okay, let me play this part for you.
Father wears his Sunday best. Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's sighing in her sleep. Brother's got a date to keep, he can't hang around.
Alright, there it is. And you see I put the faders in, the fader up and the fader down. So, you know, it comes in, comes down, and it's actually there twice. So you see it's also second time they say sister sign her sleep, or, you know, I sing it, they have it, so I put it there again, and they don't do it, they sing it a third time, but they don't put the ahs in, so it's there twice. Okay, last piece, that was number 3, here's number 4. Number 4 is also a backing vocal, which is on the second, I think it's the second verse, might be a third, anyway, doesn't matter. There's a backing part here, to go here, and you can see the lyrics. I guess you can't see the lyrics, because maybe that isn't there. Huh, well, what do you know? There's this piece where they go, let's go back, I know I have it here. And because I put the lyrics here, not loops. Come on. Oh, guess I did not put the lyrics here. Okay, I know where it is. It's in this movie. Okay, so let me drag this over. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so we go over to about measure 41. There we go. This backing piece. Something tells you that you've got to move away from it. Right? So it goes in the end of, I want to say this is the second verse. I'm struggling to remember. Maybe the third or whatever. Anyway, backing vocals. Didn't have it. Wanted to add it. And I just sang it. I didn't put any glaze on it or anything like that. I just sang it and used the normal effects I have for backing vocals, which you see I've got a reverb send and reverb bus is reverb and echo, and then I've got chorus on this because the backing vocals I want some chorus. Makes sense, right? I don't normally do clip effects. I didn't do any here, but yeah. So let me play with you what this part sounds like.
Of our street, our house, in the middle of our house, in the middle of our street, our house, that you've got to in the middle of our street.
There you go. Yeah, I guess it was the second chorus. Anyway, yeah, so there it is. Something tells you that you've got to move away from it. And I started singing it high instead of low like I just did. Something tells you that you've got to move away from it. It's another question I have because my range is a lot different than, these people who sing. Most of them are tenors and I'm a bass. So I have to figure out, do I sing low, make it more sound natural, or do I sing high to make it sound more like theirs? Still figuring that out too. Anyway, this one I sang high, in there. Okay, those are the 4 missing things I tweaked. If you'd listened to what I had before, you may be wondering about an omission, something I didn't tweak that you're probably thinking this is the first thing he should have. You may be right, I don't know, but I didn't. And that is the fast part in the chorus. And let me refresh your memory if you need to know what I'm talking about. It's this piece right here.
I remember way back then when everything was soon on, we would have such a very good time, such a fine time, such a happy time. And I remember how we'd play, simply waste a day away, then we'd say, nothing would come between us, two dreamers.
Right, so that piece, you can tell I didn't get the speed right. I tried and I tried and I tried. And I tried to sing it that fast because I really wanted to. I'm bouncing the camera. I have been for 23 minutes and 20 seconds. I really tried to get that on the right speed, accurate, and I came close, but I never got it right. So I'm thinking, just, edit it. Squeeze it. Adobe can do that. I can even sing it slow. I can sing it really slow and squeeze it, and it'll sound perfect. And I really struggled with that, and I decided not to fix that because I just wanted that to be authentic, right? And I didn't want that to be, computerized or edited to be perfect. I wanted to show that it was something that I actually sang, even if I didn't quite do it right. So that's why I left it. And, you may, every time you hear that part, if you even bother to listen to it again, you'll notice, and it may bug you, kind of like it bugs me, right, that it isn't in time. I squeeze it as much as I can, but I make it up on the second half of those, but the first half is just wrong. And anyway, I decided not to fix it, so I didn't fix that. I left that in the way it is. Okay, those are the big tweaks I made. I did make a couple other tweaks. I had a second lead vocal that I mixed in, and I took it out because it made it, with the two, it made it sound like my original was, you know, a chorus, and I wanted to be just one original. I tweaked the bass up just a little bit. I played a bunch with the saturation to see if I could make the bass more saturated, and I did, but I didn't like it, so I took it back out. I did tweak up, I want to say 2 decibels on the bass volume. I made a list of a couple other just minor tweaks I made. Let me see if I can find that list. Just so I could have them right for this video. Okay, here it is. Okay, we talked about glissando. We talked about backing vocals, sisters, guitar. Yeah, I removed the double lead. I had 2 tracks of my lead. I just said that. My lead vocals, you know, both of them I assume, but definitely the one I left in did not have a compressor, did not have a noise gate. Sometimes I'll do it directly and apply it to the track, and you know, edit and save it that way. Sometimes I'll put them in as effects here on the multi-track view. I didn't have either. So I had a little Ultra Boy was doing nothing. I had all the set to default, which kept it the same. See, of course, was here. It wasn't. I dialed down the automatic pitch correction because it was also. Sometimes I do it on purpose to give it kind of a doubling effect, because if you've got the fixed and the unfixed, you can mix them in together, and if you mix them, it kind of sounds double. Anyway, I dialed that down a bit, and I put in a noise gate and a compressor, which I didn't have, which seemed bizarre. But as I listened to it, I could hear, it was really breathy, as I could hear all my, as I was, breathing in between stanzas. Increase the bass. Yeah, okay, that's what I did. So a little bit of tweaking. Listened to the phasing and the phasing and a little bit of frequency, but again, this is something I'm doing in a week, so I'm not really spending a lot of time on the mastering. It's kind of what you hear is what you get, right? So even the panning, there's not a bunch of panning or stereo in here. I've got the bass on the right, the vocals kind of center, the background vocals to the side, but I didn't do a whole lot with that. So anyway, I want to say that's it. I've got this all mixed down now, and again, a bunch of time was spent on the Glaze plugin trying to get it to work, but I mean, this is what you can do in a day, right? This is 7 days, this is a week. So I only have 1 day left, and that's going to be spent on finishing the video, which I kind of did already. We'll talk about that on day 7. But yeah, so this is what I could get, and for being a week-long project, I'm pretty proud of it. Anyway, when we get to day 7, we'll show you what we did for the video, tweaked it a bit, and then we'll release the final video. So anyway, thanks for listening to me talk for 28 minutes and 59 seconds.